So hi, once again we are in Cognite Lab, and this is the sixth tutorial of how to learn Python from the basic installation to advanced. So here we can learn what is function. So today's topic is what is function, how can you learn, how can you write a function, and what does mean by function. So in previous videos we can learn what is condition, what is loop, how can you write those, and many more things. In this video we are learning function. So let's start it without talking anymore.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake, 'cause I don't fucking.
So let's zoom out this. So here we have some statement. So this first statement is it's taking a string as an input from a user. For that we are using str. If we are taking int, so we are using int. In previous videos we are talking about this. I hope you all will remember this. And again we are taking one more string as an input. So the first input is our name and the second input is our father name, and then we are printing by format using format syntax. In previous videos we can talk about format syntax, what is format syntax and how can you use it. So now here we can use it and we can print our name and our father name. So now what is function? So function is like a package. In a package you can give many statements and you can close the package, and in that package those statements are have, and whenever you call those package the statement will be executed. So what mean by that, let's understand by taking an example. So let's think that we have certain of statement and let's create a function for that. So function means a package. Like in a milk package we can fill the package with milk. Whenever we cut the package we get milk out of it. So same thing here, we are making a package where we can fill those statement, this all statement in the package. So how can you create a coding package? So this is a coding package, this is not a real plastic package, this is a coding package, we can call it a function. So let's see how can you write it. So to write it, its method is first you have to type three word def means define. You have to define some function. So first you have to write three letter def, then a space, then the name of the function. Now what is the name of a function? So anything you can give, anything. There have no certain rules that you have to give that or this name. You are giving anything, but whenever like here we are printing some names, so we can give it the name. The function of a name is as a name, because we are here whenever we call the function this will be printed our name and our father name. So one thing we can did, so if we are creating one function for this statement, that will not be a clean function and that will not a particular function, because whenever we call only for our name, that will execute all our name and also our father name. So let's think that we need different function for different statement. So first we have these two statements for our name printing, and then we have create one more function for our father name printing. So now after giving the name of that function, so this function name is my name because it's printing my name. You can name it anything, there have no certain rules. Now after that you have to give two parentheses, and then you don't give anything now middle of this parenthesis. After that you have to give a colon, and after that this is considering as a block. And in previous videos we can see what is a block and how can you give any statement in a block by giving same amount of space what are you in giving in the first statement. So here we are giving first statement 3 4 space, we are giving 3 space, so we are giving 3 space to also the second line, and that is now considering as a block statement. These two, only these two statements are now as a block statement, because we are already in previous video learned what is block, how can you type statement in a block. So now what happened, so let's see what happened. So for we are also creating another function for our father name, so that name of that function will be father name fn, we are shortly called fn. So now it's also taking two parentheses, and then it's also taking a colon, and after that colon this will be a considering as a block. We have to create this statement as a this block statement. Now this will be a this block statement, sorry, okay. So now this is two different function. So now let's click on run and let's see what happened. So you can see there is nothing printed. Why? So suppose that the mall is a package and in that package there have 1,000 types of product and you need something. So is mall is coming to your home to give that product, or you have to go. So you have to go, you have to call that I need it, so I have to go and I have to buy this. Same thing will be happening here as the real example. Here you have to call that function that you need, because if you are not need some function that time, you are need it after some logical part or after some programming, then what happened, if it's automatically executed, then it's going to be a trouble. For that, whenever we write any function, we have to call that whenever we need it. So now we have to need to write only the function of my name, so we can call that. So how can you call a function? By just typing the name of that function and two parentheses. So you have to type the name of that function and then two parentheses. This is the call of a function, and the function call is the this name function. So here we have a function of this name, and that is this function, so it's called this function. So now let's see what happened when we click on run. So we click on run, and here it's taking an input from us. So let's give our name. It's taking our name, so let's click on enter. So it's only give our name, your name is Sophie. So now it's not giving the further name because of we are not calling him. So we have to call him to get our father name also. So how can you do that? By just calling also that. So we are calling, the syntax will be same, the name of that function that we want to call and two parentheses. And then whenever we run that, first it take our name. So let's John, it's printed our name, then it's take our father name. So Johnny. So now it's giving also our father name, your father name is Johnny. So now you can understand what is function. Function is something, is type of a package, and we have to label that package by the name, and we can give those statements, those are supported in that label. So first this statement are supported this label because we need my name. This is called my name function. So in a biscuit packet, we are see that whenever in a packet there is written a biscuit, that's mean in that package we get biscuits, not other things. So here similarly same concept will be used, that whatever the name will be, the syntax also support that, means the syntax also same as the label name. So this is called a label name. Like a biscuit packet label name is a biscuit, and a milk packet name is a milk or mother dairy. That's mean whatever the name, we getting the same type of statement for that. So for that you can name it anything, there are no rule that you have to give it. For better understanding, we are doing that, we can name that function that type of statement in that function. So hope you understand what is function, and we have to call that function also. Without calling that, it's not execute all those statement of that block. Okay, so you understand what is function. Now let's think that this two input not taken from into the block, it taking from the out of the block. So let's think. So it's out from the block. Okay, so now we have to change this name, because this name and this name will be getting same. A variable name and same thing will not considering in a function. You have to give another different name. We give it as a FNA. So now here you have to call FNA. So now what happened? So now what happened, this print function are not taking this input out of the block, because this statements are closed into a package and he can't take anything outside from the package. So it takes only that have in that package. So here he need the num variable, but that num variable are not have in the package, it's outside the package. So now he just tell the function that I need this, you have to. So this function have to give this to this statement, not only this statement. Let's considering that, we are erasing this. Let's think that we are only have one function. Let's make this into one function for better understanding. Now it's have need two variables, one is num and second is father name. So now it's tell that the function, the package, that we need this two variable, you have to give it. We don't know, because we can't get outside from the package, because the package will be closed by this curly brackets or anything. So this function will have to give those statement. If there are any more statement and if there are any more variable that those statement are taken, then also this function also giving to this. So everyone, each and every statement, whatever he need, this function have to give to them. So how it give? So it have to first take himself, then he can distribute all the things that anyone needed for anything. So for that he have to first taken all those things that is needed his statement. So here first what you have to do, you have to count how many variables there have. So here only 2 variables have, so we have to give any name, but we have to give 2 name. So here, so there have no rule that you have to give only num or fm as a name, because you are taking 2 variable, that is name of num and fm. There is no rule, you are giving any name to this. You are just taking 2 variable from the outside. You have to give 2 variable in between of this parenthesis. So here you are giving 2 name a and b. So now whenever you calling this function, in those parentheses you have to give what he need, what the function needs. So now the function need 2 variable, and that is num and fm, because the statement of those function is need that. So we have to give those variables to the function, and the function will distribute all the things to his statement. So hope you understand. So how can you do that? So here we have to give the first element for the first statement of that function. So now here the first variable will be num, so we have to give num first. So you can say, is we are able to give the fm first? No, because this is the second statement and this is the second variable. So what first variable? So first variable is num, because whenever Python interpreter will be executed, it's first executed this. So we have to give this variable, then this variable. So we have to give first name and then the father name also. So now whatever the function needed, we have to give between this parentheses whenever we calling this. So whenever we calling this, we give 2 parentheses, and between this parentheses we can give anything that he need. If he did not need anything in previous example, you can see, then we cannot pass any parameter. So this is also type of a parameter. What is parameter? We are also talk about it in previous videos. So now here we have to give in between of those parentheses. Now you can see, so why we are giving AB here? Because you can give it not only AB, you can give it any name. So let's think that we are giving here num and fm. So this thing we have to give only for this. How many parameters it takes, means how many variables is need for his statement. If there are more statement and more variable, we can also give more one more name for that. So there have only 2 variable need, so we have to give 2 name only. That will be anything name. So here we have to give anything but only 2 things. So that means that this function will taking 2 variable. If there are more name, that means it taking 3 variable. And here you can give the variable real name or the real variable that he really need. And how can you give that? By sequentially, by arranging them. How can you arrange? Whatever the first variable in the first statement, you have to give first that and then the second. So if you are giving opposite, then it will be also printing opposite thing. It will printing your name as a father name and your father name as a your name. So hope you understand. Let's run it and let's understand more. So when you click on run, here it first taking on name, and that will be, let's type John and click enter. It's also needed our father name because we are giving 2 variable, because those statement are need only 2 variables for that. So now father name will be Johnny, and then when click enter, here we can get your name is John and your father name is Johnny. So now let's change this. Let's see what happened if we are giving first fn and then name. So let's see by click on running. So now let's take our name first. So our name is John, then click on enter, then our father name. Okay, now you can see that the Johnny will be the father name, but here the this statement are taking the first variable, and now we are in the first variable we have fn. So it's printed your name as a your father name and your father name as your name. So you understand why we are giving it in a arrange. So for that we have to give what the first thing and what the second thing as a arranging those. So now you understand why are we arrange those, why are we not giving any variable to any position. They have specified position, because the interpreter will be first executed this. So first, whatever the first variable, this go to here, and the second variable is goes to here. So now you understand what is function, what is really happening, how can you write function, what is the syntax, what is the parameter of a function. This is called a parameter. And when you writing any function, in between those middle parentheses you have to just give any name, but that amount of name that your statement needs. But and whenever you have to calling them, you have to give the real parameter or the real variable of those statements. And by arranging those, you are not giving any variable to any position, you have to give in a specified position in what the interpreter will be first executed what statement. Based on that, you have to give the variables. So hope you understand that and how is it working. So if you need more detail about it, so you can debug it by yourself. In previous videos we can see how can you debug any code. So hope you remember that, and thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy this. And if you enjoy this, please do subscribe, like and share. And thanks, we are seeing in next video. Bye bye.